All right. Well, welcome back, everybody. Sorry for the short hiatus. I had vacation travel and then some business travel put me out for a little bit. Uh, as always, a comment, say something, give us a thumbs up, thumbs down if you want to. I don't care. We'll reply to your comments. We like that stuff. We want to hear suggestions, things you'd like to hear. And
Another new subscriber. We got like 4 now.
I think we do. Dude, that's huge, right? Four
I know
subscribers.
we did get 2 comments. Thank you for those that posted comments.
Absolutely. We enjoy that. And as said, we responded to each of them.
Oh, you did. I didn't.
Well,
You tried to get me on there, but like my technology aversion is very, very strong. So I don't know if I'll ever be on there or not. But I do look. I look
it's
from
probably
afar.
best to keep you out of the comments section anyhow.
I admire the comments from afar.
That's a good way to admire them. I like that. I like it a lot.
And I actually got my wife to watch last time. Well, I mean, I didn't get her to watch. She asked me. She was inquiring, and I said, "Hey, this is where it's at." And it's I don't know, a little embarrassing, I guess,
Okay.
slightly.
Maybe. I don't know.
I was more worried like what I said about her, but everything I said was pretty good. So
Yeah. I mean, hey,
it went over well. I think
awesome.
I
Yeah.
didn't say anything negative, thankfully.
Well, why would you?
I wouldn't. I just like I don't know. I kind of go
Intentional.
off the cuff and then I forget what I say, and then because I don't really like podcasts, so I definitely don't re-listen to it. But I listen to it from like across the room. I heard her listening to it. I'm like, hope I didn't say anything bad, but I didn't. So it was
No,
all
I
good.
think you did just fine.
Has Mrs. Havoc watched either of these things yet?
No, she keeps telling me I've already heard them, and I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Well, I'm in the other room, so I can hear everything you're saying."
Oh,
I'm
she
like,
can hear me too.
"No," and that's what I keep saying. I'm like, "All you hear is me. You don't hear,
Oh,
LX. You don't hear, other people if they're on the show or whatever." So I'll
right.
get her to watch.
Well, don't
Yeah,
force her. I mean,
yeah. I'm gonna strap her down. Clockwork Orange, tape her eyelids open.
you'd be facing charges or something, right?
Well, yeah, okay, so that's off the table. Yeah, all right. Yeah, well, maybe I'll bribe her. I don't know. Is that legal? Yeah, that's
Right?
legal. Bribe your spouse. I think that's completely legit. Like nobody cares, right? I don't know. You can bribe your kids. It's okay. Nobody cares.
Sure. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have kids, so I guess,
Well,
yeah. I tried bribing the cat. It didn't work too well.
I mean, cats just don't care. So, the fact that they don't care, they don't care about the bribe. They don't care in general. They just don't care.
I mean, when I open the snack cabinet, she comes running from wherever she's at.
Well, yes,
And
this
then
is
as soon
very
as they're
important.
gone,
There's your bribe.
so is she.
Yeah, there's your bribe. You get, 6 seconds of you know cat bribery working, and then the
All
cat
right.
returns to, I really don't care about you. You're
I,
just an oversized can opener to me.
I mean, she chooses to sit on my lap once in a while, and I appreciate it. Like they do all this stuff, provide you a home, and like medical care and toys and all that stuff. At least you could do is sit on my lap for once in a while.
Well, they do like doing that.
Yeah. Probably just stealing my warmth. Probably has nothing to do with like affection at all.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right. I just generally low opinion of cats as pets, but that's me.
Yeah. Nah, I love my cats. They're pretty good.
Oh yeah, same. I'm not saying I don't love my cats. We have multiples. I just Yeah, okay. I love cats. I like them outside. They're great outside. You don't have to clean up after them. They don't puke on your floor. They don't give you attitude. They're just cool. And then you go outside, you pet them, they sit on your lap if you're sitting outside, and then they run off and do their own thing, and it's all good. You get the benefit of the cat without the other parts.
Like the hidden box of poop somewhere in your house.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting how this keeps up. This is the second show where we've talked about cat poop in your house.
Why is that? I don't know. Like, we have nothing better to talk about, I guess.
I have all kinds of stuff talked about. I'm sure you do too.
Yeah, probably.
But
Probably,
anytime
but
cats come up, we have to inquire as to why it is we have a box full of their fecal matter.
hidden as best you can, but you still know it's there.
I mean, they make furniture for it.
Right. No, we
Yeah.
have like a fake potted plant thing.
Yeah, we have I don't know what it is, just a big wooden cabinet thing, and it's got a hole cut in one side. And you don't really know it's a cat box, but it is. That's what it does.
Nice.
Really, its only purpose is to hold a cat litter box and be a bigger box to put a smaller box of fecal matter in so that nobody knows there's a small box of fecal matter inside the bigger box.
I may have said this before, but like somebody would make a killing, like be richer than Elon if they came up with a poopless cat. Like,
Yeah, you would be crushing it. I can see, yeah, that would go over really. That would, honestly.
like
Yeah,
who wouldn't want
poopless
one,
cats,
right?
why not?
That
Yeah,
would that
yeah.
would be like the best thing ever.
I think it would. That would solve some of my uh, hesitancy towards house cats.
Well, I mean, at least you don't have like a house goat or something.
True, true. Yeah, that would
Not
that
yet.
would not be good.
I mean, they,
Well,
they got those little ones. You're pretty cute.
yeah,
I could see Mrs. Havoc bringing one of them things home and being like, "Hey, look what I got."
well, yeah. So we need diapers on it because they really. There's no potty training a goat. They're like, yeah, I'm going to take a pee right now. Here I am.
Mm.
The pellets, yeah, I guess that's not so terrible because they're dry and they just kind of blah, 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 all over the place, like little, you know, pellets. I
And
don't know.
welcome to Poop Talk with Alex and Havoc, right? I mean, come on. Why did I go down this road? There
I
has to
don't
be
know.
a million forks in the road, and I had to choose this one with all the poop.
It seems to be something interesting to you though, because it's not the first time.
Mental, I guess. So anyway, how's your garden doing?
We've got everything pretty much prepped.
Nice.
So we've got seedlings started and all that good stuff. We still have to clean out the high tunnel and get it, bed ready. Uh, we actually saw a major discount on the Vigo garden bed thing, so
Uh,
got a few more of those to get rid of. We pulled up the wood beds we had down in the lower raised bed garden and replaced all those with Vigos. So
my
whatever.
wife got text from them last week too.
Yeah,
They were threatening that the price increases were
yeah.
coming
The
to try to
tariffs.
scare us into buying more, I guess. And I'm like, yeah, I don't like those tactics particularly. So
Well, you've got tariffs coming, and we all know it has a high likelihood of raising consumer prices at least for a period of time.
yeah, maybe
And
we just consume too much as a country. Then I don't know.
it's possible. It is highly possible. In fact, I would say, yeah, for sure, without question. Um, but anyway, they offered discount, and yeah, I saw that. Hey, our price is going to, rise. Whatever percentage.
Uh-huh.
I didn't. I bought before that because they had like a 41 why 41, but they had like a 41% discount, and I was like, all right, well, I'll buy. I knew we had a few more beds we needed to replace with this, so we've got one that's an 8x8 bed
Uh-huh.
with cattle panels kind of arched over it,
Okay.
and we use that for trellising plants, like cucumbers is a big one, um, beans, things of that nature. But the problem with it is well, it's not how I want it to be, right? So one of the things we wanted to do is use the Vigos in the long but not super wide format. I don't remember, it's like 2x8 or something like that. Put the cattle panels in between those so it would
Okay.
go in the bed and then it would trellis over.
It goes
It
over,
also
like
gives
jumps to the next one.
Yeah, it also give us a little bit more height because as is, you kind of have to hunch down to get in there, which is kind of a bummer.
Right.
So that was one of them. And then what we've been using is a watermelon bed. decided to go ahead and throw that one in there as well. So
Nice.
unfortunately, I completely brain farted, and instead of the white ones, which I because it's hot, I got sky blue. So whatever. Or maybe those were what was on sale and nobody cares about sky blue and likes it. I don't know.
I don't know. She asked me about it. I know she wants to get a couple more to round out what we have, and I just kind of blew her off. I think maybe I should reinvestigate it and get them, let her get them before they get
It doesn't
too
hurt to have
unaffordable.
more. Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have more garden space, and I mean now
Yeah,
you got that freezer. So
we did. I had to do a small repair to it already.
oh really?
The joys of buying used appliances.
Yeah. What
Yeah,
happened?
so we have a temperature probe in there, so we can keep an eye on things. I got one in the other one too, and I noticed that it was slightly warmer than it had been. Like not drastically, but it was originally around -10, and then it jumped up to around 0. So and it was constantly running.
Mm.
So I pulled the stuff up, and the coils were all frozen up, and it ended up that it was the defrost timer, which I found I don't know. It had good reviews, but not OEM quality for less than $20 on the Amazon site. But it seems to be working fine, and it'll run through a defrost cycle, and then won't ice up the coils, and not work as well. And then actually the compressor will kick off once in a while.
Well, hey, I mean, for less than $20, if you have to replace it more than once, it's not
Right.
like it's breaking the bank or anything,
Yeah. No, YouTube comes in handy when researching these things. I mean, if you called somebody out, probably paying you for $200-300, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm positive they probably have like $150 service call
Oh,
fee
at least.
right off the bat.
And then I'm sure they give you a surcharge on the part itself, and
Oh yeah,
but I mean, people are entitled to make a living, and
well, of course
it just gets expensive.
it does. It does. I mean, hey, you become an expert in that stuff, and that's what you do, and you can figure it out and fix it in
Right.
10 minutes. That's what you're paying for.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's Chilton's manuals everywhere, but you don't see people tearing their engines. Well, with some exceptions, you
I've
don't see.
seen some pretty questionable videos
Well,
on
there is
YouTube.
that. Yeah, there's a reason there are professionals for a lot of things.
Yeah. So some people should not even attempt their own automotive repairs. It's very cringeworthy.
No doubt.
But if you have a
I,
spare vehicle and you don't really need to depend on it, or care much about your safety or the safety of your loved ones that are going to drive it, I'm like, hey, go for it. I mean, you got to learn someplace, I guess.
yeah, I'd agree with that. I guess for the most part, maybe sometimes
I
with
mean, I
some
wouldn't
exceptions.
try the like if you're depending on the vehicle for
Yeah,
transporting people like Uber or something. I'd let a professional maybe handle that.
it also depends on what it is, right? If it's a hose or a belt or something, okay,
Right.
great. But
Right.
if you're rebuilding an automatic transmission, yeah, call someone that knows.
Yeah. Yeah. Now transmissions are even within automotive technicians, transmissions are like their whole separate thing. That's, like their
Yeah,
own specialty. Most
and,
mechanics really don't even get into that. They let
and
somebody else handle that stuff.
if you're ever getting the compunction to do something that involves springs, um, don't fire a professional. They turn into very damaging projectiles.
They can. They can.
It- I've seen way too many people with those things stuck in ceilings and walls and
You're talking
other
like
things.
coil spring, like suspension springs?
Suspension springs, yeah.
Yeah, they're not that bad.
Well, if you don't know what you're doing, they're very bad. Oh, let me just unscrew this; it'll come right off.
Yeah, no, if you don't have the right coil compressors, and then
Yeah,
yeah, you just don't go like, stick an impact on the end of your strut assembly and decide you want to take the spring off. That's a bad idea.
yeah, exactly, and it happens. It
I'm
happens
sure
a
it
lot.
does. I'm sure it
Yeah,
does. Yeah.
yeah.
I've seen some pretty bad I'm gonna replace my own brake pads jobs too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah.
I mean, you kind of depend on brakes to stop you. And I've seen some
Is that what
pretty
those are
bad.
for? You just
Yeah,
cut a hole in the floorboards and put your feet down like Fred Flintstone or something.
right. I don't know. People think they. I don't know. I mean, that's the paradox of YouTube, I guess. Everybody thinks they're expert on everything after watching a video about it.
It does.
Experience is I don't know.
Yeah, it certainly
There's a
can
little
give
bit
a
to it.
false sense of confidence at times.
It can, yeah,
But other times you get someone on there that really knows what they're doing and they'll tell you, like, watch out for this. You need to be careful here. They're very, very thorough about it. But there are a lot of people that are like, oh, there's no problem. Just do this and flip this over and boom, boom, and you're done. And
right,
people are like, oh, I could do that. That's easy.
right, yeah. So I watch a guy that does a guitar repair. He's a luthier. He's in Canada. His name is Ted Woodford, and like I think it's amazing that they can take this guitar that's like totally unplayable. It's like got a big crack in it or even a hole in it. Then the guy can fix it so it's actually a playable instrument again. And like, there's no way. Even though I watched a bunch of videos from this guy, there's no way I would ever attempt that because like just wood is not my thing to start with.
Yeah.
But it's just amazing, and he can explain how to do it, but I'm sure that a lot of that comes with experience and screwing up along the way.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But I mean, hey, if you've got an older one and it's all damaged and you're not going to pay to fix it, why not? Give it a shot.
I mean, you're probably not going to break it any worse if it's already broken. That's the other thing.
You might, but you might also learn something, right? So, hey, I mean,
Right.
what's the worst? It's broken already. If I break it worse and I learned something, I actually gained something.
And then another one that I watch, like they fix consumer electronics, and like again, another thing that I really don't have any interest in doing myself, but I find it interesting that these very expensive electronic devices can be rendered completely useless by a nearly microscopic resistor. Just like one of them goes
Oh, yeah.
bad. So like, these guys got the microscopes and the tiny, tiny little, probes and things and for and the components are literally pennies. And they can fix,
Yep.
like a $300, tablet or something with, a 3 cent component. It's kind of crazy that they design these things to be so disposable. I mean, most people would just throw it away because it's not end user friendly whatsoever to repair that stuff. And sometimes it's not even feasible to send it in.
Yeah, for sure. It's the way the world is now. Consume, consume, consume.
Right.
You know?
My for example, my wife had like a fitness watch, and the battery needed replacing in it. And so we called around some places, and to get the battery replaced would cost more than the new device cost, brand new.
Oh,
It's just
jeez.
so it's like if you can't do it yourself, and some of that stuff, there's a lot of it manufactured with like no visible screws,
Yeah,
so you need like the I don't know, spudger tool is like a flat pry bar thing to open up these things, and if you do it wrong, it's like
it's
game
broke.
over anyway.
Yeah, it's broken.
Yeah, it's very broke.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's broke. It's not coming back from that.
All right.
Yeah.
So anyway, I
Yeah,
don't even know how we got off this tangent. That we started on appliance repair, but yeah, I mean, appliance repair is not too terrible. I think the older stuff is probably better quality than the newer stuff.
it is for sure. It's so what we went from basically solid state stuff, right? You had a
Mm-hmm.
kind of a turn dial knob, a clicker, if
Right.
you will, right? And it would
Mm-hmm.
click to a certain thing, and then you would push a button, and it would go. And now you've got a digital screen and
Yep.
everything. The knob isn't actually turning anything; it's just creating a little pressure on a foil plate to make contact with the circuit board behind it.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest part of that whole machine now is just a circuit board, and 99% of the time you have a problem that's on that circuit board, and so
Mm-hmm.
it makes it more difficult for you to be able
And
to
of
repair it.
course, that's a very expensive part to replace,
Yeah, exactly. Costs like
and they're
a
pretty
dollar twenty
sensitive
to
too.
make. Yeah, it
Yeah.
costs $1.20 to make and $250 to replace. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then if you buy it and that's not the problem, then you're stuck with it because you can't return that stuff either.
Yeah. A lot of the times, that's for sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, car automotive repair is getting the same way. If it's everything is, they used to have like one computer controlling the whole car back in the '80s when they first
Yeah.
came out with them. Now they have 7, 8 different computers controlling different things. It's crazy.
Right. Oh, my ABS module on my truck, right? The
Mm-hmm.
automatic braking system. That thing took out my cruise control and my um, what else? My tire pressure monitors and a bunch of other stuff, right?
Right.
It was like, what the heck is going on here? And so, oh yeah, it's this little computer in your truck, and of course, it's one of the most. I could freaking replace the engine for the cost of this little module. You know,
Yeah. That's kind of crazy.
and it is. It is.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's even crazier looking at the prices of like these '80s pickup trucks. Have you
oh
seen
yeah.
them recently?
Hmm.
They're getting like 10, 15, 20 grand for a 1980 something pickup truck. It's like, what? No way.
Oh yeah. We would go look at go look at something that's in good shape, like an old '69 Camaro or something.
Yeah,
It's like $80,000 for the dang things.
right. But then again, I mean, a new pickup truck is 80, $100,000, which just blows my mind.
I'd rather have the $20,000 1980
Yeah,
because
that's probably why guys are paying that for them. I
I
mean,
think so.
10 years ago, you couldn't give the things away for $1,500 or a couple $1,000.
Yep. But anymore, the electronics have gotten so crazy in them. You're almost guaranteed if you have a problem with the vehicle, it's going to be electronic in nature, and that's where the bill comes in. I mean, it just gets
Right.
crazy. And most mechanics that I've known despise working on electronic stuff.
Why is that? Because they can't just plug into it and get a
You can get it
diagnosis from the computer?
you can, or you can get an idea, right? But if there's like a cable harness that's been rubbing on some steel for a while
Right.
and there's a short somewhere, then they're just
Mm-hmm.
hunting and pecking, tearing panels off the dashboard, getting under, you know, all that stuff, right? And they're just like, no.
I kind of remember when carburetors were being phased out for fuel injection. Everybody thought like the sky was falling down
Yep.
back then, and now it's kind of the other way around, where nobody knows how to work on a carburetor anymore. Basically, it's,
Yeah.
it's like they just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah. I don't mind carburetors so much. I did have an old 1959 Mercedes at one time.
Mm,
It was a straight six with dual carbs. That was fun. Like every 2 to 3 times you drove the dang thing, you had to go in there and adjust the carburetors because they'd get out of timing, and it was just,
right.
yeah.
I
So,
mean, there have been some, improvements over time. I'm not gonna,
oh yeah,
disagree with that. But there's a lot of things that I don't know. I just don't feel that we need, and I think it puts a lot of complications and a lot of added cost. A lot of the government mandates, they call them safety, but the backup cameras, the braking system,
yeah,
a lot of the now most cars have the radar systems in them, and collision avoidance, the mirrors that light up, and we don't have any of that stuff. But I don't know.
yeah. So
When it works, it's okay. It's when it breaks, everything,
yep.
touch screens. I don't think the touch screens are, how are they going to be in 10 years? Probably not great.
Who knows? Holographic screens.
Right.
I don't know.
I
You
don't know.
know,
I kind of miss the tactile, like just buttons instead of, navigating on a touch screen.
I have a lot of moments where I just think, you know what, an Amish buggy, and hook the horse up to it, and I'm good.
Right.
And I just, yeah. Speaking of which, I did read more of that book. I
Oh,
have
you
not
did?
finished it. I did. I did. I still have not finished it. I need to, but
Yeah. What is the name of that book? Um,
uh, better off.
Better Off. That's right.
Yeah, I've got it around here somewhere. Let me do a
Yeah,
plug
because
for
you
the day.
talked me into getting the book. Actually, you bought it for me, and we were gonna do like a book club kind of thing and discuss it. And I don't know. I read through it. I liked it. I enjoyed it. But it's about a college. I think he was a professor or something, and he decided to move into an Amish community, and that's it. Better Off by Eric Brend. So yeah, he
Yeah,
moved
so
into
far.
an Amish community with his wife, and kind of just lived. He didn't become Amish, but he lived within the community and followed their protocols and such, and he learned quite a bit.
Yeah,
I think he enjoyed it. He
so
stayed
far
there.
I'm. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just saying he stayed there for quite a. I don't want to give the whole book away, but he stayed there quite a long time. And
Yeah, I've been enjoying it so far. Every time I pick it up, I really enjoy reading it, and then I have to do something else, and I put it down, and it's like I want to get back to it, and stuff,
I
stuff
should probably
happens.
reread it so I remember it a little better.
I'm sure you will. You'll be fine.
The whole Amish community, it's kind of alluring to me. I don't necessarily want to be part of the Amish community as far as the strict religious doctrines and things like that, but I appreciate you know the the rooted nature of it, and without the technology and the helping your neighbor and such like that.
Yeah, no, the community aspect of it as well as the family, right,
Right.
is just insane. It there's something amazing about that, right? They don't, in our lives, you have children, they grow up, they want to move away, they want to go do their own thing, and they have children, and their children move away, and it's just this kind of splintered family cell. Whereas with the Amish, they all stick together and, oh, kids are, growing up. So let's build them a house and a barn. And, the
Right.
whole community comes together. Have you ever watched one of those barn raising videos?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's absolutely insane. We sit here with all these people with all this technology and all these tools and watch people build houses, and it takes them months and months and months. These guys will come in and build a barn with a house above it and the works, and they're done in 2-3 days.
With no power tools
Yeah, yeah,
and with fitted joinery, and and they're
yeah.
not just screwing stuff together with a
No.
Milwaukee nail gun. They're making nice wood joints on these buildings
Oh yeah,
that's
they'll
going to
last
last for a long time.
yeah, hundreds of years.
Yeah.
And they're the one thing they do have that obviously a lot of people don't have is they'll bring in the whole community, so you'll have
Right.
150 or so people there doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But even still, it's I would strongly urge anyone that hasn't seen one to just go out there and search Amish barn raising. It's fantastic. They've got some time lapse ones that'll show it to you in about 3-5 minutes or something. You just watch the thing go up, and if you pay attention to the sun, it goes up, it sets, and then it starts again. And second day or so, the thing's done.
Right.
It's mind boggling.
I mean, they had a barn raising in that book, and they seem very good at delegating responsibilities to certain people. Even the children have duties,
Oh yeah,
and they add to it. They don't take anything away from the process.
no,
Everybody has their part that they do, and it's I think it's great how a community can come together like that and help each other. But you got to
it
be
is.
there for when other people need help too, so that it's not just a taking. You have to
Yeah,
give as well.
it's unfortunately a rarity to see that outside of natural disasters in our world.
Right. But
But you do see
even
it.
even with the disaster thing, it just kind of seems to me that once the news feed shuts off on a certain event in a few weeks, then everybody kind of drops off on it and kind of out of sight, out of mind. Meanwhile, the people going through that are still going through that for much longer
Oh yeah,
than it was being talked about.
in Western NC, I know that a lot of that did happen, but it died down. But the local communities were still, they're busting their behinds trying to get things built back up, roads made, whatever they need to do,
Right. No, that's great.
So
I just it would be nice if the local news kind of kept up with that, but they just it doesn't get any views, so I guess they don't do it anymore.
there's no clicks in it, man.
Yeah, all about the clicks.
Everything's about the clicks. Got to
Oh,
get those clicks.
and if you disagree with what I'm saying, leave a comment down below. Tell me how you disagree.
Yeah, like and subscribe, or don't like. I don't care, but be interactive. We would like that. That's
No,
pretty awesome.
I noticed that's might be a little trick that people use on these videos, like the ones I think they intentionally like have a controversial something or other. If you disagree, go ahead and comment down below and tell me what you
Yeah,
because it
yeah.
does help the algorithm when people comment to push it out to other places so it could be viewed by a larger audience.
You think?
Yeah, no, that's how that works.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not super well versed. I like the interaction, and I
Yeah, no,
like it.
I enjoy it. I don't do it for anything other than I get to talk to my friend on the camera.
Right? Yeah,
All right.
and that's the best part.
Yeah, because I don't really I don't do the phone thing. Like we chat and text, but
Yeah,
I enjoy doing the video chat, which is something I don't normally do.
but by don't do the phone thing, just to let everyone else know, it- there he doesn't have a phone. He just doesn't have one, so there is no phone to do the phone thing with.
I mean, my wife has a phone if I needed to use a phone, but it's her phone. It's not my phone. So I did see something pretty interesting. I guess they're looking to change like flying kind of rules and things where they're like making it a digital boarding pass where you have to show it on your phone when you go in there. I know they do that already, but I print when I had to fly. I've only flown twice in my life. When I went, I printed the actual boarding pass at home and I brought a piece of paper, and it
Yeah,
was quite obvious that nobody does that because when I got there, like literally every person except me had their phone out. And what happens when they make it 100% digital and somebody does not have a phone or a device like
but
that? How do they work that?
no, they're going to keep. My understanding is that they push the digital thing. I've used it in the last couple of travels that I've had. It just makes it easier for me. It's just a paper boarding pass on your phone, right?
Yeah.
So that's all cool. The airports did go to facial recognition, though.
Yeah, so that's what they're doing. They're turning it into the AI
Yeah,
facial recognition, something or other.
yeah. Coming out of Nashville when I went into the security line. Mind you, I've done this 3 times already.
Mm-hmm.
But coming into the security line there, they're like, oh, insert your ID here and then stare at this, and I'm like, yeah, I'd prefer not to. Uh, what? I'm like, yeah, I'd prefer not to. He goes, but it. I understand. I would prefer not to. Oh, oh, okay. And then they just proceeded to take my ID and look at it for, I don't know, an inordinate amount of time, put it in light to see the holograms and re-look at it and look at me and like spend some extra time, try and make it, you know, like
So
this could
it's
have been
not
done
yet
faster.
mandatory then.
No, and that'll probably be the day I'd just say no.
Oh, did you get the extra probing?
I did not. I was ready for it though, because when we went to when we went to California, uh, they did that at the airport on the way out, and then coming back, they same thing, and then going to Nashville, same thing, and then coming back, same thing, and it's just like every time I'm like, yep, no, I don't want to. Nope.
Yeah. When I flew, they pulled me into that little booth thing that I don't know, like takes a picture of your
Sexy time room.
I guess. And
No.
no, he's like, what kind of, you got any jewelry on? I see something like around you. And I'm like, no, I don't even, I have nothing.
Yep.
Yeah. So like, he's all patting me down. I'm like, dude, I don't know. They seemed a
Yeah.
little aggressive for some reason.
They always are. The silliest thing is they'd never actually stopped anything from happening. So they're just wasting our time. And I don't want to get into all that, but it's annoying to say the least, you know. Um, yeah, and I'm not saying that there's not, maybe some additional security that's needed for airports and flying and stuff like that, but I think it's a bit ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't
Take your
know. I'm
shoes
just
off.
thankful.
So we do.
I did take my shoes off. I think actually the second time I wore like flip flops, so I didn't have to deal with all that nonsense.
I always wear my Western boots because I can.
Right? You just want to be more difficult. You just want to be.
No, I would never do such a thing.
You're just contrary. That's your problem.
Mm, maybe, maybe a little bit.
So, like, I mean, I watch these videos of these guys that like give really hard times when they get pulled over. Like, I
Yeah,
get that they're asserting their rights and stuff. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I have enough patience to do that and not get beat up, like dragged out the window. Because I mean,
right, exactly.
I
Yeah,
just,
no,
I just don't want to deal with that nonsense.
there's a limit to mine, right? But when they're rolling out new stuff, new technology, and they're like, "Oh, this is going to make things easier," that's not the reason you're doing this. It's not. And I am a technologist, so I have limited, extremely limited trust in technology in general. And depending on who is wielding the technology and housing the data, also determines my level of trust. And in this case, let's just say that there is no one I think that is much below uh, uh, public entities on my trust level.
You're just thinking negatively. This is all for your safety and convenience.
I, I'm very well aware. I know. I know. I am. So
It-
I
it-
probably need to go to the re-education camp.
I
That's
mean, to
that's what.
make it even easier, you don't even have to carry your phone anymore. Just we're gonna put something in your right hand, and maybe you can have it in your forehead if you want to, and then you don't have to worry about any of this stuff.
Sure. Yeah. That sounds like a story I've heard before.
A little story you've heard before. Yeah. No, when that comes, I'm out, man. No, I'll have to disagree.
Trying to basically, I guess at the end of the day, if these things come in and they either garner acceptance or they don't. And if there are enough that say, no, I don't think so, or I'd prefer not to, then it becomes very difficult to make that a mandated thing, right? So, I don't
I don't know. I think we're probably going to be in the
know.
minority because I think most people they just want to comply because they don't want to face confrontation. Most people don't like confrontation,
This is true.
so they would. I
Yeah.
think they would rather comply with things and just go with the flow. Which I mean, I get it. I get it. But I don't know. I guess
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah. I mean,
I'm kind of contrary as well sometimes.
right. Maybe a little bit. Believe it or not, though, each time I was doing this, I was seeing more than just one or, something like that. It wasn't just me saying no thanks,
Right.
right?
Yeah. I
So,
mean,
who knows?
sometimes you just I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes it's difficult to say no to things.
Yeah, it's always easy to say no to things. It's just difficult to deal with the, somewhat uncomfortable situation you might be in when you say
The
no.
the repercussions. And my wife always tells me everything has a consequence. And I'm like,
Well, it's true.
you're right. I mean, good or bad, it does. Every choice you make has a consequence one way or the other.
No, it does. It 100% does. It's one of those things. I just don't look. I don't see a need for another enhanced level or layer of security at this point. I think you know. I think it's enough. I think it's enough. It's been enough. Uh, Arguably, it was too much when they implemented it. So now everyone's kind of gotten used to it, and it is what it is. But if they had come out in the beginning when they, what was it, '05 when the TSA, came into effect. Um, if they had come out and said, okay, you're going to go through a body scanner or a facial recognition, and everything's going to be scanned, you're going to have to take off everything, but the primary clothing you're wearing, etc. People would have just lost their minds, you know. And so it's the frog in the pot of water, right? And you just start that burner off low, and froggy never mind.
Yeah, I mean it's also difficult once you go down that road to kind of back up that road. I think once that ship sails, you're kind of done.
Yeah. To my knowledge, there hasn't been any real instances where the road rewound,
Yeah.
So
Right. Like
anyway,
I mean, weren't income taxes supposed to be a temporary measure back in the day?
hmm yeah.
See,
In
it
fact,
seemed pretty untemporary at this point.
yep, yeah. In fact,
Did you
there
get
was
your taxes done? We just did ours.
uh,
What a pain in the neck, man.
tomorrow. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's one of the it's one of those areas that I am. My wife doesn't mind it so much, except having to do them together, right? She's like,
Mm.
you are not. This is not a good thing for you, And I don't understand the whole process of it, right? I mean, it's like, why? Why? You want to steal my money? Steal my money. Stop making me go through hoops so you can steal more of it. Just take it.
You know, it's even more infuriating than income taxes. And I know, like I will watch your face on this one when I say this word: property taxes.
Yeah. It's, yeah. Right. Let me pay rent on the house that I bought with my money.
Right?
Yeah,
So
that's an awesome.
something you can pay on for 30 years and then you can like lose it all for, a few $1,000 that, for
Yep,
some unforeseen circumstance, you couldn't pay it.
yep. Yeah,
That's
no,
kind
I
of,
mean,
that's kind of crazy.
no, it is. It's beyond insane. It's beyond insane. It really is. I mean, the entire notion of this is insane to me, right? I mean, granted, okay, look, I'm not going to argue the validity of programs or the need for this or that. I'm not even going to do that. All I'm going to say is this one simple thing: there is no way that anyone can convince me that it needs to be this convoluted, complex, or require of my time, any of my time.
Right.
That's just a reality of the situation. And the fact of the matter is, the only reason it hasn't gone away is because it's the largest and most feared enforcement arm in this country. Period.
That's true.
It's the only reason it's for that purpose. So anyway, a little tangential there. Hopefully we don't get like strike on the account.
Yeah, the channel. And, I mean, YouTube does that too. They use AI to like read the whole transcript, everything you say, so that they know exactly what you're saying.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's why when you upload, it sits there and says, "Well, it's going to take us 2 hours." I'm like, "The dang thing's uploaded," and they're like, "Well, we have to make sure."
Yeah. Now, I don't know the code. I'm sure there's a list somewhere of the trigger words for YouTube. I don't know what they are, but I'm
Well, I
sure
know
we'll
one of
we'll
them.
we'll find out. Oh,
I
you
know one
do?
of them. It starts with a V, and it's not vermin.
Oh, that one. Still.
Maybe not. Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to test it though.
You know how you know how you'll know if we hit on something. You'll get that little blue warning box, or like a descriptor box underneath the title of the video, and you'll be like, "What the like? We're not even talking about that. Why is that there?"
Right? Yeah. Yeah. It
I
is
don't
what
want to
it
say
is.
it. I
It's
don't even want to give any examples because then it'll probably put it there.
Yeah, please don't. That would be awesome if you didn't do that. If you were able to manage just a wee bit of restraint for right now,
Oh,
that
I,
would be
I,
cool.
I, I have to try very hard to do that.
Same, same.
Like
Yeah.
every fiber in my being just wants to say whatever it is, but I won't.
Oh, yeah. Same, same. maybe as we go, and we did have some comments and suggestions. One of them, someone had asked us to start up Spotify. I've not done that yet. I'll have to work on figuring that one out. And someone else had asked for Apple, and I'm completely, and I don't know, I know nothing about the Apple ecosphere really.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, my
um,
wife's all about the Apple stuff. She likes it.
all right, well, maybe she can help me. It's probably not that difficult to figure out. I just don't have an Apple account is the thing, and
Okay.
so we'll figure something out.
Either way, people will deal with it. Like there's more than one option there. They're all
Yeah,
bringing kind of the same thing. I wouldn't worry
yeah.
too much about it.
And then maybe we'll start up one of those alternative sites as well, and that way we can talk about whatever we want to, and not have to worry about it.
There you go. I didn't even think about
Yep.
that.
Do like a long format and cut out the stuff that you know we
Yeah, no,
can't.
I several a lot of people do that, I guess, or a lot of
They do.
people. How can I say this? Post 2020, like in that area where you had those certain words that you couldn't talk about, they moved
Yeah, it
over
was
to
somewhere
other.
around early 2020 that yeah,
They
there
had
were
to move
some
to other platforms to discuss certain subjects.
indeed. No, I don't really want that. That's not the desire, right?
No,
But at the
I
same
don't have
time,
any desire to talk about that nonstop. But like sometimes things come up.
exactly, and that's where it's like, yeah, okay. It would be nice to be able to release, that uncut piece that has stuff that might make the powers that should not be upset.
You're getting pretty good at this stuff already.
Man, I'm trying. It's difficult. It's in my head goes. How do I say this? How do I say this? But
Right? It's like a brain exercise. It keeps you sharp.
it does. Yeah, that was awful loud. I guess if I have the air hole, I wonder if it's going to be able to figure that one out. It's going to go. No, that was natural. It's enough dB. Don't cut that
Right?
out. Maybe I'll just leave it in to annoy people.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, no, for those of you who think it's a terrible hazard of your health, there, just go ahead and comment down below and let us know how horrible it is for you.
There is yeah. If you think vaping was bad for your health, please comment. We'd love to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely better than cigarettes for sure.
I don't think there's any doubt to that, right? So that's the big piece, right? Uh, my personal perspective on it is, if you're not a smoker, don't. Why would you? Don't do
Yeah,
that.
right.
It's idiotic, right? But if you are, please, please, please go do that, or something else. But get those things out of your life. You know, uh,
Like drinking water. Water's a good habit for you.
you think?
Better than cigarettes, right?
But yeah, well, okay, yeah, probably, yeah. It's personally my favorite beverage.
Yeah, I used to never drink water. I was addicted to the sugary beverage for a long time. The one in the red can. I don't even want to say their name because it's horrible for you.
Yeah, the one
Horrible.
that rhymes with smoke.
Yeah, that one. Dude, I think that was just as addicting as cigarettes.
Without question. Yeah, it's purposefully addicting.
Yeah. And it
Yeah,
used to be cheap. It's kind of expensive now, I noticed. Like
yeah,
you used to be
yeah.
able to get I don't know, a 12 pack for like $3 or actually 250. It was like 4 for $10. Now it's like
Yeah,
$9 for one.
I remember sometimes you'd walk into the store and be like, yeah, 3 for $9 or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
4
like,
for
dang,
10. I remember 4 for 10 for sure.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I guess cigarettes were that way too because dude, they're like almost $10 a pack now.
I remember going to buy my father packs of cigarettes at Woolworths for 25 cents. And
Wow.
he would give me 50 cents, and I would go buy the pack of cigarettes, but I had 25 cents, and I would go to the penny candy section and pull out, just gobs of candy. I mean, it wasn't like, the big name candy bars. It was
Right.
little wrapped candies, but I mean
Yeah.
it was good stuff as a kid. Candy cigarettes. Back in the day, teach your kids to smoke. Come on now.
The ones that are like chalk or the bubble gum ones.
They were kind of both. The first time if you blew on it, it would blow out like chalk smoke, but
Oh,
then it was
okay,
bubble
right.
gum. Yeah.
Oh, so those are the bubble gum. They had the hard ones that I remember.
Mm.
They were like little hard sticks, like I don't know,
Mm.
kind of minty or something. I'm sure they're
Okay, I
horrible for you too.
don't remember those, but yeah.
Mm.
I mean, hey, what are you gonna do? It
East
was
East
fun.
Coast versus West Coast, I think is different.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
You know
Some
what I learned the
interesting
other
stuff.
day is butter. Butter is different shapes, East Coast to West Coast.
No, son.
That's what I heard that somewhere. Like the sticks
Mm.
are a different size.
I don't think so.
No,
Same sticks I grew up with.
well, then I was
Yeah.
lied to.
Like a pound of butter came in 4 sticks.
Right. Yeah, but the shape of the sticks, like they're long. I heard they're like more square. I don't know. Maybe I misheard.
I don't know. They all seem to have been the same to me, but I don't know. There are definitely some differences, like out here you've got Hellman's mayonnaise.
Mm.
The exact same mayonnaise on the West Coast is called Best Foods,
Oh, okay.
and out here you've got Hardee's.
Right.
Hardee's, the fast food chain
Right.
on the West Coast. That's just Carl's Jr. Right?
Carl's Jr. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is the ice cream like? Dryers and Edie's or something,
It's basically the same dry. You've got dryers, you've got briars,
or
you've got
maybe yeah. I know there's one that's like it's just the same thing but different names for some reason.
yeah. Trying to think of what that would be. Not a big ice cream fan. I mean, I like it, but my favorite flavor of ice cream is vanilla.
Me
Just
too.
my go-to. Like if I want ice cream, I would like some vanilla ice cream. I don't
I
need.
haven't had it. Like actually, the last time I had it was when we went to dinner, and it was with that banana Foster's.
Oh yeah.
That's
Well,
probably the first time I've had ice cream in 3 years at least.
that's a heck of a dish right there.
That was
That's
pretty good.
oh
I've
yeah.
never had that before, and that was pretty darn good.
Yeah. No, that's a really good dessert. I quite enjoy it, but
I was actually really hoping to see it like coming out like flaming and everything because I saw it once like that, but I guess they don't do that anymore.
probably liability stuff.
Yeah, I think somebody got caught on fire once or something, so they quit doing that.
Yeah, they still do it. It's part of how it's made.
Right.
But
They do
like
it.
if you go to like some places I've been to at brunch, they'll make it for you, but it's behind the glass, and they
Okay.
do the flambe. Or I don't know if it's still called flambés because it's not cooked. Well, I guess yeah, I don't know. But and then they'll slide it under once it's done.
So what is it? Some kind of alcohol they put on it and then it burns off?
Yeah, yeah. I'm not certain what the alcohol is, to be honest. In fact, if you happen to know, comment.
See, you're getting good at this.
I have to, man.
You're
I
getting
have
really good at this. You're an expert.
to. Yeah, I'm really not certain what the alcohol is. So, but yeah, they put some alcohol in there and they light it off just to burn the alcohol, keep
Right.
the flavor of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like a rum or a bourbon or a cognac. Kind of would think it would be a cognac, but I don't know. But it's good.
I have no idea. I'll have
Very.
to see now. I have to look it up because it's going to drive me crazy. I just need to know. Along with
And
the
then you
butter
could
thing,
make a
I'm
comment.
gonna confirm the butter thing too.
And then you can comment
I maybe I will. I'll
on your
even
phone.
comment. So you want to try to do this once a week or something?
Absolutely. That's
All
what I
right.
was saying. Once a
Yeah.
week, and we'll release shorts throughout the week, so we, kind of tease up to what the next one's going to be, maybe get people excited about it.
People seem to like the shorts for some reason. I saw there's quite a number of views on that. Short attention span, maybe. Maybe
Yeah.
they distribute that to a larger audience. That's how that happens.
I think it just churns faster, right? It's a lot quicker to
Okay.
make a short and create content that's, quick and easy than it is to do a full blown session. So I do think the attention span, has a bit to do with that. TikTok is another one of those things where it's, very, very short videos. Short form seems to be kind of the way people want
I've
things. Like,
never been on there.
same. I
Yeah.
mean, I've watched them because other people have,
Right.
posted clips or whatever, but yeah, I've never wouldn't bother me at all if it disappeared. Um,
Right.
and wouldn't bother me at all if it stayed either. And if you have a different idea, no.
Some of them are entertaining, I guess. It seems like a major time waster. Like
Yeah,
we had a friend staying here. He stayed here for a little while, and he'd sit on the back patio, and that dude, he'd be there for hours just swiping them videos.
yeah,
Like he'd have to go somewhere, and it'd be like, dude, it's noon, and he's like, what? I just sat down here, like 3 hours ago, and it just, the time just went kind of
yeah. It
crazy.
was pretty amazing to me, and that also like became a big thing right around the 2020 time frame, didn't it?
Kind of.
Isn't it? Isn't it weird? That's interesting. We could do a deep dive
Some
on
people are
that at
making
some point.
big money off those things.
Well, sure, yeah, yeah. There are definitely some people that have meteoric rise and a lot of fame on that kind of stuff. If but
I mean, I think they produce a lot of people do controversial content just for views, and actually, I think
yeah,
they do it for the comments as well. The haters are getting just as many clicks as the people that enjoy what they're doing. It's kind of weird to me.
it's an interesting thing. I've never been a huge fan of short format, right? I'd rather kind of dig in and really enjoy a conversation, or enjoy a topic, or wherever the case is. Than just those quick hits, on to the next one, totally different, on to another one, totally different, on to another one. And, I think it came out around the same time, or at least became very popular here, around the same time, because that's around the time where I would, like, post a video that was 10, 12 minutes long. And next thing you know, everyone's like, I'm not watching that. That's forever. I can't.
Right.
And it's gotten to the point now where like some really good joke material, right? And it's maybe a paragraph to tell the joke, and it's good. I mean, really good. And people go, I'm not reading all of that. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
So
I mean, even this format here, I think all of the videos so far have been over an hour long. So I mean, I'm sure that puts off a lot of people that just either they don't. I don't want to say they don't have an hour. Most people could find an hour if they wanted to. It's just investing that time, and it's just or the attention span.
I think, to the credit of the folks that had requested this, putting it on a more podcast style, you know, uh, delivery service like Spotify or
Right.
something, it will be. I think we'll get more uptake from that sort of a thing,
Right.
because the fact that you can turn your phone off, put it in your pocket, and listen. You can
Right. While you're
pause.
doing other things, yeah.
Yeah, you just close out the app, come back to it 5 days later, and it's in the same spot, right?
Which
So,
brings up the subject. If you want to do that with YouTube, they charge you like $30 a month or something.
oh, do they?
Yeah.
No, wow, I didn't
Yeah.
know. Oh, that's right. Yeah,
If you want
someone
to
told me.
close the app and just listen to it, yeah, like the music section, yeah, I forget exactly what it is, but it's something like that. Maybe $19. I don't remember, but they keep trying to push that.
Monthly?
What's that?
Every month?
Yeah, every month.
Wow. Yeah, no thanks. It just
Yeah,
seems like a lot of money just for a feature that, yeah, ostensibly should just be there.
you would think so, right?
Mhm. Well, yeah, I would think so. I mean, you want people to consume the content, right? That's your
Mm-hmm.
purpose. Uh, but if they have to get up and go, they have to cease consuming content or pay you extra money. And let's be honest, I can't imagine there are that many people that are doing that. Maybe
Yeah.
there are. Maybe it is an attractive thing to a lot of people. I really don't know. And like I do that quite frequently with podcast apps, right? Or just podcasts in general, stop and start, or, I'll put my phone in my pocket and get on the tractor, start doing stuff, and I'm listening to a podcast. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but I certainly wouldn't pay someone, even $10 a month to do that.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to pay it either. So
Good, good. We're making a change, man. So you
nice.
heard about the War Dragons 10-year anniversary?
Oh, War Dragons con. Yeah, I did hear about that.
I blew my mind. I'm like, I just can't believe. I mean, I remember 6, 7 years ago, everyone going, "Yeah, this thing's going down. It's gone," and
Done then.
maybe another year, and here we are. It's 10 years, and they're gonna have an art contest. My suggestion was an artistic rendition of the flaming dumpster floating down the river. I think
Right.
that's yeah,
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have good memories of playing with my friends and making friends
yeah.
and all those things. And I enjoyed it while I did it. I'm just, that was a certain season of my life, and I'm kind of just past it now.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I did. I really enjoyed it, but I think, you know, I enjoyed just the base game, just learning the dragons and the placement and getting better at a specific dragon and doing things like that, and the camaraderie.
Right.
But I mean, there's a good amount going on in there. Just it's always this same good amount of things going on in there. But the camaraderie's still there. It's a team game, so makes sense.
I thought it was kind of ironic. I saw the poster for the most recent what the season theme or the new tower that they have out is called Soul Drain,
Yeah,
and I
dude.
thought that was rather ironic. Like uh, that feature was in the game for a long time.
Isn't that like the main purpose of the game? I don't know.
Exactly. I mean, at least time drain. Oh my goodness, I wouldn't even care to venture how many hours I've wasted. I don't want to say wasted. I'm not going to say invested either, but spent,
Spend,
consumed, spent on
yeah,
playing that game. I mean, it had, dude. I don't even want to know. I don't even want to
yeah.
know.
But you know what? We're gonna get some guest speaker or guests on the show
Okay,
from that old crew. Might even
nice.
enlist your help. We just
Really?
a conversation came up in my old team's chat,
All right.
uh, and we were trying to figure out there was a specific member that got forum banned, but they didn't get forum. They got forum banned, but for a period of time as opposed to perma banned. But the period of time was until 3018, the year of
Nice,
3018. Yeah,
nice.
can you guess who it was?
No,
Come on
you
now. It was on your team.
on my team?
Uh,
No idea.
think about someone that everyone talked about. Like this person probably has 50 devices and they're playing 50. They are dread. Who was that?
Panda?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, Panda got forum banned until the year 3018, 1,000-year ban.
Wow.
Yeah,
Maybe I knew. Maybe I just forgot. I don't know. I don't recall that though. But I mean, it sounds appropriate. I mean, like for what was going on at the time. Like,
right.
I mean, it just sounds like something that would happen.
Yeah, but it's like someone literally took time instead of just banning them outright to go on and say, I'm going to ban you, and then enter a number of days that was beyond ridiculous, right? Just, it's pretty petty, if you ask me.
I liked it. We didn't always agree on everything, but he always had a logical reasoning for what he did, and then had a way to say it.
I never had any issue with him. I always thought
Yeah.
he was cool. I mean, blunt, direct, and,
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, some people don't like that.
yeah, blunt, direct, and strongly opinionated, but there's nothing wrong with that in my eyes. You know what I
No,
mean?
dude, I still don't know how I didn't get that ban treatment. I probably should have by
Neither do I. I did. I got banned for a stupid meme.
I remember that.
That's it's just so funny. It's just PG. It's just PG.
Yeah.
There you are, right? No
In that
disparaging. It's just the way things were handled. So
in that one chat that we are both in, wasn't there some employees or former employees of Pocket Gems? Maybe we can get one of them on.
well, that would be cool. That would be really cool.
Maybe
You know
their
what?
NDA has expired or
Well, I don't
by
know
now.
about that, but we could certainly make sure that we don't cross any of those lines, right? I think
Yeah.
that's an important thing to do. If you've signed an NDA, then you should stick to it, right? You're giving
Right.
your word,
No, I'm
and
I'm
you know,
100% not endorsing anybody break their NDA at all. But
right.
if it's expired, that's something else.
Well, yeah, absolutely. If it's expired, and maybe it expired with their, with I don't know, right? I have absolutely no idea. So I
I
don't want
I
to
would
comment.
very much like to peek behind the curtains a little bit.
No, same here. Or just hear some of their experiences, or you know, hey, there's a lot to talk about. I think a whole
Right.
lot. Be cool to get some of the other folks from the summit. That would
Yeah,
be
you
fun.
got a little peek when you went there, I'm sure.
Oh, I did. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What
It
is
was
that? There's a website that people, Glassdoor, where they write about their
yeah.
experiences working. I wonder if Pocket Gems has one on there.
There used to be another one. I won't do it because of language reasons. I don't know if it's even still around. But there used to be one called Eft Company, but it was you know the, the whole spelling.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Nice. I
yeah,
mean, you never know whether there's just somebody that, got fired because they were incompetent, not doing their job, or whether, somebody with a legitimate beef. But I'd be curious to hear what, some of the stories are.
yeah. I mean, anytime you hear one side of a story, you have to take it with a grain of salt, right? There's
Exactly.
typically three sides to every story. There's
Right.
your side, there's their side, and then there's the truth, and that's usually somewhere in the middle. So,
Mm-hmm.
but it would be interesting. That would be good. But I think our next pull in should be Mr. Croft.
Hmm.
Yeah, see what he's been up to, and
He'd probably be amenable to it. I would think.
he's already said he would. He should.
Oh, okay.
Well,
And he's got the equipment, so he's good.
yeah, and you would know this better than anyone else, but I would imagine nailing down time is probably going to be the more challenging aspect.
More than likely, yes.
All right, so maybe we'll load up a few other people and just push him around until he can make it.
There you go.
Because I think that, excuse me, I think that'd be a lot of fun.
I'm almost always available, so leave it open to him.
All right,
Whenever he's ready, I'm ready.
all right, I'm good with that.
Sound
I'm good
good?
with that. It does. It
All
does.
right. I think it's
So,
time for me to put the chickens to bed.
all right. Any before we wrap up, anything cool, exciting, fun going on in your world over there?
Um, Besides the broken freezer, no. It's almost time to put up the sunshade
Oh yeah,
in the garden. Yeah,
those are
everything's getting a little crispy.
you in the 90-degree days already.
Yeah, getting there. Close. The
Oh, and
tomatoes are crying a little bit.
It's April, and you guys wanted me to come in May again. I'm like, no,
You can
May
come
is
back
like
in May
August.
too. Come in June
No,
or July.
May there is like August for us, and I don't like August for us at all. It's not pleasant.
Well,
It's
we'll
a
have to
great
come up.
time
Well,
for it's a great time for in the pool or inside in the air conditioning. But if you go on vacation, you don't want to just be like, I can't be outside. Like go skateboarding? Yeah, no. I will melt into the asphalt.
the
You
wheel
know?
getting stuck.
You just see the plastic material starting to spread like paint.
Yeah, no, I've tried to get all the outdoor chores done, that I possibly can, and like the oil change on the car I just did. We had a nice day today. It was beautiful today.
That's awesome.
Like 71, nice, low
Oh,
humidity,
that's nice.
but it's all gonna go up.
Yeah, it was like 62 to here today or something like that, and it's going to be like 81 tomorrow. So,
Hmm. Yeah, I
sign of
think
things to come.
this might be our last nice day. I don't.
Yeah. At least we have a pool. Jump in the pool.
There you go.
When it's 87, 88 degrees outside and it's hot, humid, you jump in the pool, it feels great. It feels absolutely wonderful.
We need to come visit when we can use your pool, because normally we come in November when it's like an ice skating rink, and
Well, you know you're always welcome. Always. And I mean that. And you know that. You should know that by now. So anytime, just plan it out. Let us know what works for you. And
there you go.
It's almost a guarantee we will be here because I mean, I prefer to be honest with you, quite very literally honest. If I could never ever leave my property, I wouldn't. I just would not.
Oh, I completely understand.
Yeah,
I completely understand.
I have literally gone months without stepping off my property, and I like those months. They're great.
We could have a whole other episode on this, because we've discussed this at length, that you and I just seem to be magnets for just jerks and idiots out in public for some reason. I don't understand why, but they're like a heat-seeking missile towards both of us.
They beeline it. It's like, oh my god. Yes, we will do this. The next one we're gonna do a segment on just that. I'm gonna take a note.
We can just talk about our past experiences and all that stuff. I mean, yeah. Anyway, been there, done that. I'm more than happy to stay home.
Awesome. I got that noted down. We're gonna do that.
Nice.
As always, if you guys have any suggestions, anything you'd like to see, anything you'd like us to talk about, heck, if you'd like to come on the show and talk with us, put something in the comments. We'll see what we can work out. All right.
There you go.
No promises, but we'll do what we can. And, keep at it. Have a great day.
Thanks for listening. See you.